tied with the Red Sox, as you might imagine. The score is 3-3. We're in the top of the 7th inning. There's none out, and there's a runner on first base due to the walk given up by the starting pitcher, Carlos Rodon, who has pitched. He has given up 3 runs, but I would say he's pitched a good game until he just did this, which is he threw a wild pitch, which moved the runner at first down to second base with no outs, which might mean he's getting TIRED. And Booney is standing at the.
No visit from any of the infielders.
Yeah. I mean, you could kind of blame that on the catcher, but I'm not sure. That was very, very hard. What? I don't understand what he just did. The umpire just walked the guy. Did he actually walk, or did he put him on first base for some reason? Oh, he hit him? Yeah, which means he's losing control. He almost hit him the time before on the wild pitch. This is the right time, Booney. So who's coming out of the bullpen? He looks like a giant.
Eddie, what do you think the Red Sox are thinking with Rafaela coming up?
Weaver?
Runners at first and second, and Cruz coming in.
Listen for the name, because you might get it before I see it.
You gotta make the defense.
The Yankee fans look very concerned, and they look very angry. They must be disagreeing with that last call.
Could have anything on.
I don't know what they're disagreeing with. Was the guy hit, or was it a ball?
Brewing here for the Yankees with the Red Sox. 2 on, nobody
Well,
out in the tie game.
I was telling you the Black Lives, they're having a little, timeout right now and discussing things. Black Lives Matter is suing the Soros, one of Soros's main not-for-profit that funds political efforts that are designed to destroy the United States. The Tides Foundation, the DAs who let all the criminals out on the street, and the DAs who let all the rioters go free if they burn buildings. You got to burn a building to go free. If you're a right-wing protester, you go to jail for the rest of your life. So now Black Lives Matter is suing the Tides Foundation, which is almost all George Soros's money. And they're suing them, what's the amount? $33.4 million. And they are saying that there was egregious mismanagement of its money. Now, this has been around for a year. Of course, nobody reported it. But now, Black Lives Matter, the communist organization. Now, when I tell you that the Black Lives Matter is a communist organization, if you go read their literature, they will tell you they're a communist organization. And unless the now multimillionaire Patrice Kaurs has become more dishonest, she will say that she is a trained, very expert Marxist. And they were originally trained to create gender revolution as part of the Marxist plan to overthrow America. And then when they saw the opportunity with exploiting racial incidents, they took it because they made a lot of money that way. Now, we know that they have siphoned off a lot of their own money. But now having done that, the organization, and it's hard to know now who's running it, because she sort of separated herself when she got caught buying a couple of those multi-million-dollar houses for her and the other two. I don't know. They're gender activists. I don't know if it's transgender or gender. I'm not an expert on all this stuff and don't particularly want to be. I just learn what I have to. But what happened is Black Lives Matter, which politically in California is probably a big deal, I would think, huh?
Right, yeah.
They went to see the Democrat Attorney General. So I think the Democrat Attorney General, we should say, we can assume that's a political operative and not really an attorney general of a state that is not even American anymore. And they now want the Tides Foundation to be investigated for crimes. And they claim that they actually have a particular situation where Soros's organization spent $6 million of their money, Black Lives Matter money, to pay the lawyers who were opposing their lawsuit. You know, you're going to ask me who's telling the truth between Black Lives Matter and the Soros organization? You got a coin? Black Lives Matter. Soros. I don't know what I would do as a judge. You got to judge credibility. They're both lying, but one of them is probably right and one is wrong.
Right.
In any event, here's what it does do. Not that the press will take it. When they say back in 2020 and since then, there have been many, many reports, and we've put people on, Andy No recently, but many, many others, that Soros was the main funder through these organizations like the Tides Foundation, a couple of others. He was in 2020. He really had everything covered. He was the main funder for Black Lives Matter, for Antifa, and for Hillary, and the Democratic Party in general. I'm sorry, for Biden and the Democratic Party in general. He also would put in like 55 or 60 DAs in places where he would have no interest other than to create chaos, where the crime rates had gone up, and they were, like in Philadelphia, 2 years in a row of record homicide in Philadelphia under Krasner, his DA that he spent millions on to put him in office. So we and many others have told you that Soros was the main funder of that whole group. That's really one group, which is why you can go back and you can get pictures of all those people like Pelosi and Schumer and taking a knee in the Capitol, and oh, come on. But the worst part is everybody who burned buildings down and killed people in the 2020 riots, that was some of the worst in the history of America. Almost everyone, if not everyone, went free, even though people died. That was all orchestrated by the fact that Soros had made sure that he had his DAs in place. And they did the riots in places where the DAs were in place. So you can see there was some long-term planning going on there. So now when they say that there's no connection between Black Lives Matter and George Soros, go get the papers in the case. And if they did commit some kind of crime, maybe we can get both of them, right? I mean, they're both extraordinarily anti-American.
Stays in front. Why? Because there's a runner that could easily score from third. They got lucky that ball didn't go far enough.
Who's playing first? Who's playing first base for the Yankees?
Saves the run from scoring with a diving stab
I want to make sure.
at second base.
If he could have kept on going, he would have scored
I'll
easily.
tell you.
Well, in any event,
Was held up at third base, put his head down instead of keeping his eye
did the Red Sox score a run?
on his coach and on the baseball.
No, still 3-3. Anthony Rizzo, is he the first baseman?
Who?
Is Rizzo the first baseman?
He used to be. But who's on first base tonight? Rizzo's gone.
Against Cruz.
Goldschmidt.
Okay, I'm surprised.
Let
Goldsmith.
me make sure tonight's. Let me get tonight's roster.
Most times Goldsmith would make that play. I'm surprised.
So let me make sure.
It was a.
Career where Story was as good a hitter as there was in the major
It might be Ben Rice.
It was. Well, if it is, that would make more sense.
Let me find out.
Goldsmith is almost flawless as a first baseman.
in an environment like this.
But the throw to first was
95
kind of a desperation throw there is 2 out. It would have saved, the possibility of a run, which we have now. So I'm not faulting. I think it was Chisholm at second for throwing the ball, and I'm not faulting him for throwing it low because he was on the ground.
Ben Rice.
Yeah, the first baseman should have caught that ball. Here's where you pay for this switching around. So Ben Rice is also a catcher and a first baseman. Most people that are both a catcher and a first baseman maybe aren't good at either. I'm not saying that about Ben, but I mean, and he is definitely not the defensive first baseman that Goldschmidt is, who is one of the best. And the Yankees have always prided themselves, and I can tell you a story from Joe Torre about that, on having great first basemen. Oh my goodness, that was hit right to the, now, that ball was hit 390 to 400 feet. And who is that just came out? Is that the pitcher?
Yeah.
He is excited. That's my boy. Look at him. Look at him. Well, first of all, it was a great catch in center field. But what I'd like to point out to you, in about half the stadiums in baseball, the score would now be, how many runners did the Red Sox have on?
Bases were loaded.
The Red Sox would have 4 runs. I don't know. We'd have to go look at Citi Field. Citi Field, they made pretty deep. Some of the old stadiums were real, like old days in Ebbets Field. Woo-hoo. In Fenway's weird. See, Fenway is the opposite of Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium is ridiculous, starting at about halfway from the right foul pole. It goes out like that to 400 and something feet at dead center. Then it becomes 430 feet. Used to be longer than that. Used to be 460. And then it comes back, but very, very, very much an impossible home run for a right-handed hitter, unless you pull it right down the foul pole, because it comes all the way in. So what I'm telling you is that shot was in what used to be called Death Valley. And there's even more of a Death Valley if you start moving out from center to left, because it goes like that instead of like this. It goes like that, and then it comes back. Now, you say to me, why? Why was it organized like that? Yankees built Yankee Stadium right after they acquired somebody from the Red Sox. And they built it to make it much easier for him to hit home runs, because they had decided that they weren't going to do what the Red Sox did. They weren't going to use this gentleman as a pitcher and a hitter. That they had a lot of pitchers. And it wasn't that he wasn't not only was he a good pitcher, he was one of the best pitchers in baseball at the time. But he also, that took him out of the lineup. They had to rest him. I don't know how many home runs he ever had before he came in. Nothing near the 40 and the 50 and then the 60 that would hit for the Yankees. The Yankees decided, forget it. Let him play right field and let him hit. And he became the greatest player in the history of baseball, Babe Ruth. The Red Sox had won 3 world championships with him. After they traded him, they didn't win another one in that century. They finally won one in 2004, which, has almost turned around the whole thing, because they've won 4 now, and the Yankees 4, right? The Yankees have won 1. As we go back, the Red Sox were one of the best teams in baseball when they traded Babe Ruth. They had won like 4 or 5 of the first 13 World Series. And then, you see the play I'm talking about, right, Ted? There's no way a first baseman doesn't make that.
Ball got to him late. That was a bad throw from second, too.
There's no such thing as a bad throw by an infielder. That you can get your glove on. If you can get your glove on, you're supposed to catch it. That's what you're there for, and that's why you get paid $2 million. You're not there to just catch it when they throw it up here like that. I used to play first base too when I was injured, and I was very good at first base. I was taught by a terrific coach. I was taught right from day one. That's the most important thing. You know, I wish I had learned golf when I was that age, like my son did. But I have at times, stopped and watched kids playing, and I give them lessons on how to play first base. One of the things they get nervous about, youngsters, when they play first base for the first time, they want to make sure they can put their foot on the bag, right? So they lock themselves. So when the throw is going to come to them, they put their foot on the bag so they don't miss it. Now, what you've just done is lock your body, depending on where you put your foot on the bag, to about half of the circumference you can have in covering it. If you straddle the bag, you put the bag like a V in the middle of your 2 feet. Now, you have to have practice over and over again. So it's muscle memory as to where the bag is. So you relieve yourself of the fear. Am I going to kick back and get that bag? And I look at professional first basemen, and I don't remember them ever not kicking back. Once you learn it, you become so much better as a first baseman. You've been kind of unlocked. And of course, then some are in the stratosphere, like Goldschmidt. The catch that he had to make there, you can't fault him completely. It was a tough catch. On the other hand, that's why you have a great first baseman. And the first baseman, there's certain positions where you've got to give a little more deference to defense than offense. If you can have both, fabulous. Catcher touches he touches or almost touches every pitch in the game. So if you can't catch, you're in deep trouble. Also, if you can't handle a pitcher, you're in deep trouble. Because pitchers need help, almost by definition. So he's critical of your defense. I mean, you can have 10 pass balls and game's over. And he's got to be able to catch with one hand. His other hand's got to be ready to go. He's got to be able to scoop it out of the dirt. He's got to be able to backhand it. And the better he is, your defense now starts to be really good. And if he can throw people out, that's a tremendous advantage. Now, you got to think about what else is important. Many people would say, since most balls are hit up the middle, it's the shortstop, center fielder. But the shortstop, the third baseman, and the second baseman, honestly, they're only as good as the first baseman. When the Yankees set the record for the longest streak of no errors in the infield, the first thing A-Rod did is credit the Yankees first baseman. And I don't want to remember who it was at the time. He said, we wouldn't have this. You can't imagine how many of my throws he straightened out. He straightened out a lot of Jeter's throws, too.
This one is pulled. It's going to be fair.
Oh, man, he was going for that corner.
Head to second base. Here's the throw. And he is in there with a double.
And that's big. Scoring position with one out.
He hooked one foul into the stands, and then he delivers the double.
And we're at the 7th inning. Bottom of it, we only have 2 more innings to go.
In 2017, and then Boston picked him up in the Rule 5 draft in 2020.
Questionable for the Yankees this year. He had just tried to hit that, and now Judge is at the plate, and this is the moment for Mr. Judge. Mr. Judge is 2 out of 3 tonight, but they're all singles. The Yankees don't pay him $40 billion a year to hit singles. They pay him to hit home runs. He is the best player in baseball, bar none. 50 home runs again this year. For some reason, the playoffs elude him. He is, at best, an average playoff player. And he's now at a moment where he could break this game open. A single, of course, would put him ahead by one. But hitting the ball 430 feet, which he can do at 120 miles an hour, is what he's up there for. So we'll see. It's 0-2, and they just struck him out.
Oh.
This has been the playoff life of Aaron Judge, who I love. But he's 2 out of 3 tonight, but they're all singles. If he were 0 for 3 tonight, this is the time you got to hit. This is the Reggie Jackson moment, the Mickey Mantle moment, the Yogi Berra moment. I mentioned Yogi Berra because if you followed the Yankees in those periods of time, there are many people who would tell you that Yogi Berra was even more of a clutch hitter than Mickey Mantle. The reason is he was a bad ball hitter. You couldn't pitch around him. When they interviewed the Dodger pitchers, Don Newcomb, I think, was the one that was being interviewed after his career was over. A Hall of Fame Dodger pitcher, one of the great Dodger pitchers there in the Brooklyn era. They asked him, the Yankees, and he had terrible trouble with the Yankees. So it's right, strange. I mean, here's a Hall of Famer, their best pitcher, and the Dodgers had, would play the Yankees. They won only one World Series, but they played in the 4-3, 4-2 World Series. A lot of the pitchers would be very tough on the Yankees. But Newcomb, the Yankees beat just about every time. So when he was being interviewed, they asked him, who was the toughest one to face? I mean, Mantle? God, Mantle must have been really tough. He looked at the reporter and he looked, a little catcher. Ooh, you mean Yogi Berra? I couldn't get that guy out. And it's true. The Dodgers are winning a game. Under Newcomb, were winning a game 6-0. The Yankees came back and scored 7 runs against them. One of them was a bases loaded home run by Yogi Berra in Ebbets Field. Yogi Berra, actually, I never saw this, and I think this is hokum. But they say he hit a home run once with a ball that bounced in front of the plate. You couldn't pitch around him. What that meant was, if it weren't important, he'd let you pitch around him or take a walk. But if it was important, he wouldn't let you walk him. He'd find a way, if you threw it up high, to hit it. If you threw it low, to hit it. He was a frightening presence, particularly during the 50s when he was in his prime. In the 60s, he still could play, but he was starting to fade out. He started to be an outfielder. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to discuss something sort of philosophical and theological, and that's forgiveness. We'll be right back. U.S. Army Major Scott Smiley paid a high price serving our nation. Scott was leading his platoon in Iraq when a blast sent shrapnel through his eyes, leaving him blind and temporarily paralyzed. Scott would become the first blind active duty military officer before medically retiring years later. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave Scott and his family a mortgage-free, specially adapted smart home. Show your support for America's heroes now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Are you ready for some action?
I'm ready for action.
Get the Elite TV plan only through the portal. 218 channels, and it's only $69.95 a month.
Wow.
Including your free portal.
That's cheaper than everyone else.
Your favorite sports, movies, news, even daytime dramas. We're talking about ESPN, OAN, Newsmax, channels you can't get anymore in certain areas.
Compared to the competition, this is a way better deal.
Endless selection. Not to mention all the free music channels. There's over 700 premium and classic movies all ready to go.
Wow.
Plus, they got catch-up TV that allows you to go back and watch what you've missed or want to watch again. Cut your cable in half and get twice as much for free.
Way more channels for half the cost.
After the first year, the subscription then drops to $57.95 monthly, where you change or upgrade anytime. Go to QUXNow.com and get yours today. Use promo code RUDY. Act fast. These deals are selling out.
Here we are, pretty much at the beginning of the process here at this pristine, I call it a laboratory. It's not like a factory, it's like a hospital. This is the beginning of the process for roasting. Deep grain, very good quality. Most people don't use this quality. We deal with small farmers because they like to know who we're dealing with. They give us the highest quality, all organic, non-GMO. You should know all Arabica beans, no Robusto, all Arabica. They're gonna go into the roaster and it'll get roasted for about 20 minutes or so. Oh my goodness, look at these. My goodness. You're going to want to specially order these. This is what goes into Rudy's coffee. Well, when I talked about forgiveness, of course, you realize this whole issue has been brought up because of the very, very beautiful and moving eulogy given by Erica Kirk for her husband, Charlie Kirk, at the memorial service a week and a half ago. And during the speech, of course, there were many, many riveting moments. But maybe for many, the most was her forgiving the murderer. And let's play her words rather than my reading her words, because this will almost exactly describe what Christians have been taught by Jesus Christ.
Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Well, today, in the Wall Street Journal, William A. Galston wrote a very thoughtful and very useful analysis of forgiveness, being that today, and we wish everyone who is Jewish or anyone who wants to participate, a very holy Yom Kippur. So today is Yom Kippur. Now, Yom Kippur is called the Day of Atonement. It is, I would describe it as mass confession. But if you are a practicing Jew, you've got to examine your conscience. You've got to go over all the things you did wrong. And you have to ask God for forgiveness. But and God can forgive you if you are truly repentant. So that's the same really as confession. In the sacrament of confession, you have to personally recite your sins to the representative of Jesus on earth, which is the priest, who Jesus gave the power to forgive twice, or not twice, it's in several of the Gospels. recited a little differently. Sounds like it might be two different times. Well, actually, he did do it twice. He reiterated it. He reiterated it after his resurrection. The significant thing being what you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven, and what you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. He gave that power. I think it was the time that he named Peter as the head of the church, as the rock on which he built his church. The other disciples, as well as Peter, he gave them the power to forgive or not sins. So in the Catholic tradition, you have to confess your sins to the person that Jesus gave the power to forgive you. But it's just not confess him and he forgives you. Te absolvo was the words used at the end of a confession. We used to do it in Latin. The priest would listen to your confession. You would say, Father, forgive me, for I have sinned. These are the things, I haven't gone to confession in 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 25 years. And these are the sins that I've committed. And you have to, in order for you to be absolved, you have to have honestly recited to him the ones you can remember, the approximate number of times. And you have to explain to him that you've resolved not to do this again. You're going to try your very best not to do this again. At that point, he'll give you a penance. Might be, if it's fairly minor, maybe say, 5 Our Fathers and 5 Hail Marys, or light a candle, or say a prayer to the Blessed Mother. If it's a long one, he might tell you to say the Rosary. And then he'll recite a prayer, and then he will end it by blessing you and saying, Te absolvo, you are absolved. Now, he doesn't really know if you're absolved, because ultimately he's just an intermediary. It's between you and God. You're absolved if you really have vowed not to do it again. If you went in there and said, hey, I stole, 3 things from the grocery store, well, the priest might ask you, you going to do it again? Absolutely not, Father. But if you're saying to yourself, yeah, I'm going right out and doing it, the priest is an intermediary, but this is where the Jews and the Christians are the same. It's really between you and God. So tonight in the synagogue, Jewish people go and they personally recite to God, not necessarily to the rabbi, the sins they committed over the last year. And they will be forgiven by God for those sins if they have made a legitimate effort to vow not to do it again. Now, it doesn't mean that they won't do it again. They're human. God understands that. They're sinners. But it can't be, yeah. Very important. Now, here's the point that Goldstein is making. For Christians, that seems to be enough. But under the Jewish tradition, you may be forgiven by God, but you're not forgiven by the person you wrong. Let's say you beat the hell out of somebody. You say, Father, I beat this man up for no reason. I don't know. I thought he was flirting with my girlfriend and I beat him up. And I realized that was wrong and I'm never going to do it again. The minute you do that, you are forgiven by God as a Christian. You're forgiven by God as a Jew. Now, here's where the Jewish tradition makes a different distinction. Are you forgiven by the person who you wronged? Not unless you go and explain to him what you did and explain to him how you're never going to do it again. So he would say, following on Erica's beautiful statement, the murderer has to confess and has to vow that he'll never do it again and ask for her forgiveness. Interesting distinction. The only thing that you've got to square that with now, because he does kind of take a teeny shot at Trump. He says that after she said that, the president responded by saying he did not hate his opponents, meaning Charlie. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent. I don't want the best for them. I can't stand my opponent. So I remember Ed Koch, who was Jewish. Ed Koch had the following rule. I'm not going to hurt anybody unless they hurt me. If they hurt me, I'm going to hurt them 5 times as bad as they hurt me. Isn't that the rule of the state of Israel? If you attack us, you won't know what's going to happen to you after we come back at you in order to keep themselves alive, right? So somehow, William, and I'm not being contrary here, I'm just raising this as a question. How do we square that with the biblical eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth? That's also in the Bible, as well as what has worked out as the Yom Kippur tradition. So, which is it? I'm going to make a suggestion. I mean, it is how you interpret it, right? Legitimately interpret it. You do some kind of half-assed interpretation, it's not valid, of the Bible or the Quran or whatever. This occurs to me because the Quran has all of these things that are horrible in it. You know, like kill Jews and kill pagans and kill infidels, and Muhammad killing lots of people. And, well, I think what William is telling us is that the Jewish tradition has emerged from an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And the tradition now is to forgive and to obtain that forgiveness from the person that you wronged. I think. Now, this is what we're talking about here, both among Jews and Christians, is the ideal. And it's good that we have these ideals. The Muslims don't. Unless they can read out Muhammad. See, they have to sort of like take him out. He taught them vicious, horrible things. And he was a vicious, horrible person. And Moses wasn't, and Jesus wasn't, and the great prophets of Judaism and Christianity weren't. They were human. Some of them were sinners, but they weren't evil people who killed mass numbers of Jews and mass numbers of Arabs and mass numbers of Christians and others in order to take their property, which is what Muhammad did. Sorry, that's what he did. So, I think this is a great starting point for, it is true that we kind of ignore some of the things in our tradition that are brutal. Well, they have to do that. But you got to acknowledge that you're doing it so that you can separate yourself from the murders and the maniacs and that are using that as legitimatizing, if that's a word. I'm looking at Ted, but I think he's looking at the game. I'm looking at the game too. It's still 3-3, and the Yankees have 2 people in the bullpen. And I don't know if they have anybody on base. They do have 2 outs. Is that Chisholm at the plate? I think so. With that short right field porch, Chisholm's going to have about 32 home runs. Oh my! That. That was a smart move. There's 2 out. It's a lefty against a righty against a lefty, which is dangerous in Yankee Stadium. the guy's a home run hitter, contact hitter, home run hitter. He could put the Yankees ahead in the bottom of the A's going into the 9th inning. And there were 2 outs, so he walked him. That was very smart. Now they may bring in a lefty. Let's see.
Struck out with the cheap seats.
Is that Wells coming up?
At Farmers, we offer both quality insurance and great service.
I'd bring a left-handed pitcher in to pitch to Wells. I don't want to give the Red Sox. Don't listen to me, Red Sox. Why do I have to be such a smart ass? I think you're going to keep the righty on the mound. I think this may be delivering the ball into the right field corner. Now, Cora's a very smart manager. I mean, I have great respect for him, except that he cheats. He's the guy that was behind the Astros cheating, and he wouldn't go see Trump. So you have to root for the Yankees. The Yankees love Trump, and Trump loves the Yankees. George Steinbrenner was one of his best friends. If he's not watching this game, I'll eat my hat. Where's my hat?
No hat. Gotta get you a Yankees hat. I told you I'd try to find one around here, but we may not find one here. We're in the...
Look, Ted, you're too valuable. I mean, I would tell you, go out and ask. You might not come back.
Yeah. I'll take you with me.
The Red Sox. See, they're not cheating for you tonight. Like they did last night. They were cheating for him.
Well, what do you do here? 2 outs. Guy on first. You just got to hit the ball, right? Hit it far.
He's looking for one thing here. He's looking for a home run, my friend. Wells is a home run hitter. Actually, Wells doesn't hit. He just hits home runs. If he makes contact,
That's like somebody else you were talking about. Oh, no. Catfish Hunter only threw... What was it? You said something about Catfish Hunter.
Well, I said there was a playoff game between the Yankees and the Kansas City Royals. And the Royals scored 3 runs. All of them were home runs. Single. Nobody on base. And as soon as he gave up the home run, he would strike the next guy out. And the Yankees won 4-3. But that's what our friend there, that's what our friend Rodon had to learn. And it seemed like he unlearned it for one batter. And I would say this is why the manager is so good. The manager knew to go out there and say to him, Carlos, haven't we gone through this? Forget it. Just because you gave up a home run doesn't mean you should walk somebody. Come on. These guys are professionals like you are. You're going to give up home runs. Sandy Koufax gave up home runs. Not a lot, but he did. So, look at that little girl in the Yankee uniform. Show it to my daughter. Oh, and this guy, look how serious this guy is. Man, I miss going there, Ted. I miss being in my seats.
Oh, we got to go.
Now, the seats I'm talking about, I used to be, are some people watching this, do you think?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you where my last...
this is on. This is what everyone sees.
My last group of seats, after I was mayor, I bought my own seats, and they were oh my goodness, this is going to be interesting. He's coming in. He's safe. Did they get him? No, he's in.
They scored.
He scored. I thought the umpire called him out, Ted.
All the way from first.
I'm used to the umpires cheating for the Red Sox.
Recently, anyway. You know, people will say the exact opposite about the Yankees.
It isn't true. No, they never cheat for the Yankees. The Yankees are too good. They're trying to even things up.
That's huge, Mayor. But like you said, you want to get more than one run, more than a one-run cushion.
That was a good call on the part of the third base coach. He makes that call. Watch this. It's in the corner.
Able to go with 2 outs.
That's a beautiful throw, by the way.
Beautiful slide.
Is that the third base coach making that?
Oh, man. That's about as close as it gets.
First run allowed by Whitlock in 14
Wow.
games.
That's about as close as it gets.
Runs the Yankees have scored in this series.
He just missed that tag by an inch. The Red Sox are reputed to have the best outfield in baseball. And twice tonight, it failed. But did it fail? I mean, I don't know if you could have made that throw any better. I don't know if anybody in baseball could have made that throw any better. And then the judge, was it a judge hit? That was, here, watch it. Oh, that's different. There's a
That
single.
one got to. So who came in on the run?
Chisholm,
Chisholm.
who's fast. He came in all the way from first.
And so was that the third base coach Louis Rojas who sent him around?
The third base coach makes the choice because the runner can't see. The runner can't see behind him. And if he turns around, he's going to lose a step, right?
Yep.
So you got to live with that third base. There was a third base coach that the Yankees had in 1980 or something. He brought a guy in, and Steinbrenner fired him. And I love George. He was a very good friend of mine, and I absolutely love George. But I thought that was a little harsh. I mean, that could have gone wrong. Still, the guy made the right decision. It's hard to understand, right? You got to understand baseball to understand that. And you got to understand life to understand it. There are decisions that you make that are right decisions, and they just don't work out. Now, you can't be afraid to make them. I mean, if the guy at third base is going like this, what am I going to do? Is the boss going to get angry at me? I don't know what to do. Poor runner's coming in. What? Hey, jerk, give me a signal. It's the point that Pete Hegseth made yesterday.
We talk about the impact of Jazz Chisholm. And
Point that he made yesterday. We don't need a bunch of vast lickers
defense and now appreciate
or generals.
base running.
Those stars mean that you're
The aggressiveness,
commanders,
the slide to the outside
warriors,
part of the
killers.
plate gives the Yankees some hope going into the
Killers.
top of the ninth.
to save decent, innocent people. Well, so now it's 4-3. This is a situation there where when I was mayor, I was blessed with something. What was I blessed with? Mariano Rivera. Now, if this were 1996 to 2001, I would be certain that we were going to win this game. I would very much like to have the extra run, because even Mariano needs a little cushion. But I would say 9 times out of 10, he's going to come out of that bullpen, be 3 up and 3 down. He's got, without any doubt, it's like off the charts with the next person behind him, the best record in the playoffs, the least number of runs given up, lowest batting averages, almost no home runs. Even when they beat him on cheap little hits. Of course, the one that he probably regrets the most is 2001, and there wasn't a single legitimate hit until the very end. He even made an error throwing,
The gecko was just
and he was probably, Mariano Rivera was probably one of the best fielding pitchers in baseball. Not sure he won a Gold Glove because I don't know, they sort of get stupid with closers. They might say he didn't have enough innings or whatever, but he was a great fielder. Always wanted to play center field in one game. And the Yankees would never let him do it because they were afraid he'd injure himself. And of course, one time he did injure himself because he used to go work out with the outfielders. And it's the only time he ever was injured. He lost a whole season because he broke an ankle or something, shagging fly balls. You've got to know Mariano Rivera also to know what a wonderful Christian, beautiful man he is. Wow. You know, the last time David Wells came to Yankee Stadium, was it Wells? Not Wells. I'll get this one right. I'm going to have this one wrong. I don't want to get it wrong. I want to get it just right. So, I'm being distracted by the game here. So I don't know who the Red Sox brought in, but they made the correct decision to bring in a left-handed pitcher in to neutralize Trent Grisham, who is a home run hitter. 34 home runs, Um,
Could have gone the other way as
he
well.
gets a hold. He gets his bat on the ball and pulls it. The game is going to be 3 more runs, and but this is the Yankee strength and the Yankee weakness. They're built around left-handed pitching. Why? Because that porch is right there. But then they are vulnerable to left-handed pitchers, which is why the Red Sox started a left-handed pitcher tonight and last night. It's also why the Yankees started a left-handed pitcher last night and tonight, because the Red Sox are vulnerable to left-handed pitching, but not quite as much as the Yankees. The Yankees are more of a left-handed hitting team than the Red Sox, but they're also a much more of a power hitting team than the Red Sox. The Yankees led baseball in home runs, and the Red Sox were like 10 or 11. They were down at 10 or 11. They're much. Where they compare very, very well to the Yankees and challenge them is their starting pitching. They've got 3 terrific starting pitchers. The Yankees have 3 terrific starting pitchers. The third one we'll see tomorrow night. But their third starting pitcher, Giuliani, is injured, which is why the Yankees, well, of course, they want this game to stay in it. But when the Red Sox won last night, they had a tremendous advantage. Should the Yankees win tonight, they will have an advantage, because the pitcher tomorrow night for the Yankees is their star rookie. Now, that's always a question. Comes from Massachusetts. And Giuliani, the guy they were going to start, is on the injured reserve. This should end the inning.
Bases loaded. But I believe they had 2 outs.
Yeah, there were 2 out. But now we're in the 9th inning, so this will determine the game. And here's
you getting nervous at all?
Me nervous? I never get nervous. I just get angry.
I knew it. I knew it.
I played baseball so much that I can't say that. I do get nervous sometimes with baseball games, even more than football games, because of the delays. The in-between innings are tough.
Yeah.
And I don't object to the fact that they're long, because I as you can see, I love the strategy of it. And so this Mickey Sherrill, who's running in New Jersey, she should really drop out. This lady cheated in the Naval Academy. She cheated on her exam in the Naval Academy. There's no doubt about it. They didn't let her graduate with her class. She says they didn't let her graduate the class because she wouldn't rat out her classmates. What is she, mafia? That's and I don't know about the Naval Academy. What the hell are they doing? They enforcing the rules of omerta? She wouldn't rat out her. But here's the ultimate question that she's avoiding, like the phony left-wing scoundrel that she is. She cheated. She got the exam beforehand, then took the exam. I don't know why the hell they made her a naval officer, largely because a whole percentage of the class did it, and they'd have no class. I don't know what percentage it was, but it might have been 60, it might have been 70% that got the exam online beforehand. And despite all of the preaching and about honor, and this class didn't have much honor, and she had no honor. Also, I mean, she's a perfect Democrat because her fellow cadets, she's not going to rat on them. Sounds like she must be, I mean, those are the rules of the mafia. Aren't the rules of legitimate, decent society? And aren't you as a cadet, if another cadet commits a crime, you don't want him as an officer in the United States Navy? Beyond that, here's the new one. In the last, net worth went up $7 million in a stock flip. And she said she never traded.
World Series.
She's the wealthiest.
In 2019, her net worth was $730,000. Now it's 14 million. And she's the wealthiest congressperson from New Jersey. She also, you might remember. Well, let's go back to the game. They're back on, and it's the ninth inning. There's no outs, and it's a 2-1 count.
Bray was a tremendous defensive player, but he also has some pop.
And we'll
22 home runs on the season.
We'll get into our coverage here. And then when we're finished, we want you to go over to Lindell TV and watch Dr. Maria.
Big
Who,
swing right there to try to tie it. 98 on and out.
2-2 count. 0
Pardon?
outs. 2-2 count. He swung and missed.
well, you go ahead. I'm looking something up.
Uses his curveball to get strikes when he needs
So top of the ninth, Yankees up.
to finish off lefties when he's trying to strike him out.
Bullpen has been a
Yankees
good
up 4-3.
story. 2 innings, just 2 hits, and no runs.
Getting the first out in a situation like this is extraordinarily important. And his lack of control of the strike zone is really troubling me. I don't know that. Why don't we have a better relief pitcher than this?
Struck him out.
Well, maybe I should keep my big mouth shut. That's David Bednar. He only came along. He only came along toward the end of the year. The Yankees got him from the Pirates.
He got to throw a strike,
The Yankees had traded
and he did.
for the guy. The guy was the best relief pitcher in baseball, and
Strike one to Duran. That was in the 04 series in which Robert stole second. They ended up
they had traded for the best relief pitcher in baseball,
deficit, but no
and he got injured.
first to get Hamilton in the game.
And that was Devin Williams.
And Duran behind.
Devin Williams was supposed to be there doing the closing from the same Pittsburgh Pirates that he came from, Bednar. Bednar was going to be the setup man, and Williams was going to be the closer, the Mariano Rivera, and he was dominant. And he comes to Yankee Stadium, he's got like a 5 or a 6 earned run average. Every once in a while he comes in and he's brilliant, and every once in a while he comes in and he gets beaten up and no one knows why. And Boone has been working on it all season. All season. Now, he's at 1-2 on this batter. He's throwing his heart out, Bednar is. I mean, I don't know if we can see the gun here, Ted, but he's throwing it as hard as he's capable of throwing it. But he's losing the strike zone a bit. And when you lose the strike zone, you don't fool hitters as much. The point is, when you got 2 strikes on a guy, you want to strike him out on a ball that looks like a strike. That's the pitch. Ooh, the umpire could have given that one to him. He could have given him that one. It broke low. I'd like to see if our catcher framed it correctly.
Never hit a home run in this ballpark.
Now we fouled one off. That was a very, very quick swing.
Full count.
Yeah, protecting the plate.
So what do you throw here?
Remember, it's only you got to throw a strike. I mean, you don't have a lot of choices. It's 3-2. You don't want to walk him. He is a left-handed hitter. You got to still be a little careful because that porch is right there.
Struck him out.
Oh my goodness!
Wow, was
now
that
Ted,
nice.
I don't understand that.
Woo, that was a good.
This is a major league hitter who just fouled off some great pitches. That ball was right over the middle of the plate. How were you not swinging at that? Watch the pitch.
On the inside part of the plate, just the run, arms.
You know how sometimes there's, well, it's a little bit, gotta tell you, it's a little bit on the inside corner, isn't it?
Yep.
It made it, according to the rectangle. According to the rectangle, it made it. But maybe it was a more deceptive pitch than I thought. You know, the ball goes so fast when you're watching it on television. I used to sit right
Strike,
behind.
he went. That's a strike.
Yeah, I used to sit. You see the guy in the red shirt back there, right behind the catcher. I used to sit in the seat right on top of him. And why did I sit on the seat right on top of him? Because I could see the catcher better. See, these guys in the first row, there's a little bit of a. You get in the second row, right back. See where the red shirt is there, Ted? See the red shirt?
Yep.
Go over about 3, and that's where I would be. It's
That's
over.
game.
It's
That's ball
over.
game.
It's over. We go to a game 3. Boy, these teams are unbelievable. You know, Ted, I know young people, like my son, and as he's grown up, he's changed a lot. My son used to really not like the Mets and the Jets.
What a difference a night makes.
I really like all the New York teams, and I love the Yankees. Oh, thank you. And you know I like the Red Sox. I'm not one of these people. I respect them. I mean, geez, first of all, the last 20 years they've been better than us.
3 innings, just 2 hits.
I mean, if I were Boone, I would copy what Cora does, except when he cheats. And I would go to the White House. Because I wouldn't disrespect the president.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you the last couple of things here that are really important. That make sure you knew. And that is that 50% of the illegal aliens in the Twin Cities, this was a survey of 2,000 done by an independent group, 50% are committing fraud, major fraud of one kind or another. And a lot of it is Schumer collecting health insurance. Today, Schumer came on and said the president was a liar by saying that. I don't know how Schumer has the gall to even go on television. Turns on his own people. Well, take a look at that. 50% of the illegal aliens are committing significant fraud. And a lot of it is health insurance, but usually health insurance and 3 or 4 other things. And in the Twin Cities, in Tampon Tim State, he'll give you health insurance. They discovered in Florida a guy with a New York license, you know, the license you carry around, right? With no name on it. New York gives out licenses to illegals with no name on it. How would you, as a clerk in the Motor Vehicle Bureau, end up giving somebody suppose you walk in and say, I want a driver's license. I'm not going to tell you my name. Now, according to this, when Florida caught this guy and turned him over to the Immigration Service to throw him out of the country, they contacted New York because they thought that it was a fraudulent license. No, it was actually issued, and the clerk explained we do issue licenses to refugees, or they have some other name for them. Now, the legal name for them under the statute is illegal aliens. So you can get euphemistic as you want or communistic as you want. They're illegal aliens. And New York gives the illegal, they won't give you as a citizen a license with no name on it, but if you're an illegal alien from Venezuela, you'll get one, which is why they kill so many people when they're driving along the highways. They had a whole city in Ohio where they had to send in the National Guard because people were getting killed left and right or hit left and right by these guys from Haiti who didn't know how to drive, but they were given licenses without taking a driving test. We got people driving major trucks without taking a driving test. Even if you're going to give an illegal a license, why don't they take a driving test? Why would you assume that if you're an illegal alien, you have an innate ability to know how to drive? I don't think people realize how insane the Democratic Party has become. And, you know, we keep saying it, and they probably look at us like we're exaggerating. What I just told you is 100% true. The guy has a no-name license. Who would give it to him except in a state that's completely lawless? Let's get you up to date on what's going on with the whole issue of transgender. Okay? Fairfax County refuses to arrest a guy who is a serial pedophile and sex offender who was caught going into a girl's bathroom, and they declined prosecution a year ago, and recently the county over from them has prosecuted him for what he did there. But Fairfax County in Virginia, run by Democrats, won't prosecute him. And the board is directing the prosecutor not to do it. So 10 days ago, they discovered that this guy, this sex abuser, had they found a whole list of the schedule for the young girl swimming team at a local pool, where he would show up and put himself in the bathroom and abuse some of them. So they represented it to the Democrats in Fairfax County to prosecute him again, and again they refused to do it. The governor, or the attorney general, has now taken over and is asking for legislation. I think it's a Republican legislature, it's certainly a Republican governor who supports this. They're asking for legislation that the attorney general in these situations can take over and prosecute the case. Now, these are people from Virginia. Tell me why they wouldn't prosecute a guy that goes into a little girl's bathroom. Where's the sympathy? Forget sympathy. Where's the protection of young children? Maybe you can have sympathy for the guy. I don't know. Go get him treated. But don't let him out until he's not going to hurt my daughter or granddaughter or yours. Don't they just completely lack common sense? You see, you're surprised by, no, you're not. I shouldn't say that. A lot of you are really, really smart. A lot of people are surprised by that, and they say, I don't understand how the Democrats are like this. I do. It's Marxism. Every single thing I'm talking about, you will find in Karl Marx, including breaking down the morality of a country. Easier to take over. I'm going to save this for tomorrow night because a terrific, terrific analysis has been done about how anti-Semitism is really an epidemic. Not just in this country, in Europe. And we know what happened the last time we were warned of that. And now we have a major political party in the United States that's supporting the epidemic. They're literally supporting the people that are behind the epidemic. So this requires a little more analysis. I just want to mention it to you. And the reality is that this transgender issue, men playing in women's sports, even worse than that, perverts going into women's bathrooms, the dispute now between Emma Watson and J.K. Rowling. I mean, Emma Watson repeats lines and she's still probably 14 years old in her head. And J.K. Rowling has written, some of the most successful novels of the 20th and 21st century.
Yeah.
And she stands for a very, 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 very controversial proposition that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. And you don't get to define it God defines it when he decides what you are. And then there's a pretty damn good indication of it sticking on your body. So this guy in Fairfax County, this guy's name is Richard Cox. He's 58 years old. He's a registered sex offender. He's allegedly exposed himself to little girls and women in the girls' locker room, but he's got a history of it. He was also found with child pornography and a schedule of girls' swim classes scheduled at Fairfax County rec centers on his phone. However, a Democratic majority board who oversees the cops has no plans to charge Cox for his visits to 3 rec centers where children were present. He was arrested in Arlington County for what he did there. But Arlington County would like to support Fairfax County. They ain't getting it. Ain't going to happen. Where for the sex offender, says Fairfax County. We're Democrats. We protect sex offenders. You're Republicans. You just protect children. You're Nazis. Footage shows Cox leaving Fairfax County, our special harbor spray park, a water park designed for young disabled kids. What's this guy doing hanging around a park for disabled kids? This is sick. You want to take these guys from Fairfax County where you want to go like this? He's identified as a transgender woman. How many people have they shot in the last couple of years?
Right.
I mean, that's the question that Charlie was asked when they assassinated him.
Yeah.
I mean, it still bothers me that those two things happened at the same time. I told you, as an investigator, a prosecutor, every coincidence bothers me until I resolve it and I get the answer to it. Nobody's resolved that for me. Last week, it was revealed that he's got the swimming schedules on his phone of all the girls' pools, and they still wouldn't prosecute him. Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares said that Cox was hunting girls in Fairfax, and he's now asking for a state law that would allow him to prosecute the sex crimes that local prosecutors won't. Now, may I make a suggestion to the Attorney General? Remove the damn prosecutor. If the damn prosecutor is doing this, I don't know how much more damage she's doing to your community or he's doing to your community. The board supposedly can tell the prosecutor what to do? Well, get rid of the board. How about we become part of America again? Virginia, you helped to start us. What, you got a bunch of perverts in Fairfax County? Oh, but a lot of them are going to have nothing to do for the next couple of weeks while the government's closed, by the way. Well, thank you very much for listening in tonight. I really appreciated it. I hope you weren't distracted by the Yankee coverage. I hope you like it.
Well, I hope they liked it too, because we got game 3 tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
And that's for all the marbles.
Wow. And then who do they go play, Ted? What's the next?
Blue Jays.
Who?
Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays. Blue Jays. Yankees also have a losing record against the Blue Jays this year. But they're a much better team. Just trust me. Well, thank you very much. Where are we going now, Ted?
Lindell TV.
To see Dr. Maria. And tomorrow night, we'll get it all arranged and we'll show you our pictures, which we're going to show you tonight, but we'll do it tomorrow night, of our little excursion today on a boat.
We had a little, we did.
On the Great Bay.
Right.
Right up to the Atlantic Ocean, passing Revolutionary War and War of 1812 forts.
Yep.
And really a place that I think is hallowed, which is the submarine base, and which many of the submarines that helped to win the Second World War for us were done. by all of those women and men who, couldn't meet the standards or whatever. But boy, they were just as vital to our winning that war as the people on the front lines. Because they got those damn things built in, Trump time. Well, pray for the people of Israel. Pray for the people of Ukraine. Things are right on the line there, right? We see what's going to happen. Pray for the people of Iran. I still am hopeful that that's going to change regimes. Pray for America. God, you know that they need us to guide this world. You gave us that obligation. When you gave us all these benefits, we have to help the whole world. And to do that, we have to be strong and powerful and rich and militarily overwhelming so that we never have to use it. Because we will never use it. Guys like Putin, love killing these innocent people. We don't like to kill. You can see it in our president. So, dear God, give the president the guidance that he needs. We all do. That's not meant to suggest that he isn't doing a great job. He is. But it's with your guidance. And you save him for us. So, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on Lindell TV and X, 8 o'clock on X. God bless America. And go see Dr. Maria now. It's our purpose to bring to bear the principle of common sense and rational discussion to the issues of our day. America was created at a time of great turmoil, tremendous disagreements, anger, hatred. There was a book written in 1776 that guided much of the discipline of thinking that brought to us the discovery of our freedoms, of our God-given freedoms. It was Thomas Paine's Common Sense, written in 1776, one of the first American bestsellers, in which Thomas Paine explained, by rational principles, the reason why these small colonies felt the necessity to separate from the Kingdom of Great Britain and the King of England. He explained their inherent desire for liberty, for freedom, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the ability to select the people who govern them. And he explained it in ways that were understandable to all the people, not just the elite. Because the desire for freedom is universal. The desire for freedom adheres in the human mind, and it is part of the human soul. This is exactly the time we should consult our history. Look at what we've done in the past and see if we can't use it to help us now. We understand that our founders created the greatest country in the history of the world, the greatest democracy, the freest country, a country that has taken more people out of poverty than any country ever. All of us are so fortunate to be Americans. But a great deal of the reason for America's constant ability to self-improve is because we're able to reason, we're able to talk, we're able to analyze,